Okay, welcome to the Flux Dev Meeting, February 8th, 2024. Do we have any agenda items that'd like to go first?
Yeah, we can do some announcements about what we achieved this year. So we had the first two releases under the Flux project. First one is a patch release for Flux 2.2.3, which fixes regression bugs in the customized integration in Helm controller. It also comes with minor improvements. And one thing we have discovered around Helm, so there is a new Helm release 3.14, which comes with breaking changes in terms of Helm charts values override when you use an umbrella Helm chart. So the behavior has changed from 3.13 to 3.14. And because we are not sure that we should be shipping breaking changes in a Flux minor release, in a Flux patch release, what we did was we created a preview image for Helm controller. So we've built Helm controller with the latest Helm SDK 3.14, which also comes with the latest Kubernetes version. So we had to do a bunch of stuff there in Helm controller. But we have a preview image available for you. It's under Docker Hub and GitHub Container Registry. It's official. It's built by us, signed with cosign and everything. And you can find the link in the release notes. And the idea is if you need the behavior of 3.14, if that solves issues for you, you can easily switch to the preview image. We have run all the unit tests and end-to-end tests that we have for it, and it looks good. But we kept shipping 3.13 in our patch release. So by default, when you upgrade, there will be no changes to the Helm SDK minor version. You need to opt in into the preview image. And we have published that on the Helm controller pull request, the exact image that you have to place in your Bootstrap file. Okay, so that was for Flux. Second release, we've made a minor release for Flagger, which comes with support for shifting traffic for raw TCP services. So for those types of applications which are using a different TCP protocol, they are not HTTP, HTTPS, or gRPC, things like databases, Redis, and other stuff. And this comes in the latest Flagger release. There is also documentation around it. This behavior is not by default. You have to opt in into it. And how you opt in is by setting the app protocol in the Canary service section to TCP. And once you set it and the provider is Istio, so this works only for Istio, only then Flagger will switch to TCP mode, the virtual service and all the Istio routing, and we'll do the Canary and Canary analysis for TCP services. So this is a great future for those that want to do Canary releases for other types of services than apps than those that talk with HTTP. And we also fixed other things around Istio retries in Flagger, and we have switched Flagger to the latest Alpine version and the latest Go version. So a bunch of CVEs were fixed in our dependencies. Hopefully Flagger is 0 CVE today. Tomorrow, I don't know, but Today is all good. So yeah, please upgrade. Shouldn't be any problem. Flagger is fully compatible with the previous version. And that was it from me.
Cool. Thank you for the progress report. Do we have anyone who'd like to go next?
Sure. Nobody had questions for Stefan? All right. I'm Tama. I have some Flux community and enablement updates. I forgot to mention last time that GitOpsCon, which is an event that now for the second time has been happening at Open Source Summit, which will be in Seattle. I'm blanking right now. I think it might be May. I forgot that the call for papers was due on Sunday, and I forgot to mention that, yes, we were working with various Flux users as well as people within the maintainer and contributor group to submit talks. So just a shout out, thanks to everybody who did. Got some good submissions there. Then, of course, never sleeps. So obviously, KubeCon Paris is coming up pretty soon. So there is a project video. There's a video that you can submit for each graduated project for the keynote. So we are working on getting that submitted this week. So we only get 60 seconds. So I did a quick kind of mock up. So thanks for everybody who's been collaborating there, and we will get that recorded and submitted by tomorrow. Then there are some new project activities that the KubeCon people are trying to experiment with. So I've been getting more information on like what that entails. So two of them that I wasn't clear about is Contributor Fest or Contrib Fest and these ad hoc tables that they have put out. So just trying to understand for those of us who will be there to be supporting the Flux project, what are our hours and how do we understand what we need to do. If anybody else is planning to be in Paris and would like to help the Flux project, whether it's booth hours or whatever, please reach out to me. And then there's also a new lightning talk that they're offering. So we'll complete whatever is required for that before the deadline. Usual project activities for KubeCon. Usually I put together an event brief to make sure we all are aligned on what our goals are for the event and what we're going to execute. The goal is always to grow the Flux user base and support the Flux users while we're there. So that's always the same goal. It's just how we go about it with creativity and fun. It depends. We always have fun and cool things to think about, and we love talking with Flux users, um, solving problems, giving demos and such. And we usually do that at the Flux booth, so I'll be preparing for that. And then usually I create a Google site that just makes it easy for us to um, highlight all our talks, our activities, where we're going to be, how people can find us. And then, of course, for the project video, we only get 60 seconds. So a lot of it will be just pointing to a QR code that points to the site so that people can get more details on the resources and such. I know that Sanskar didn't really like the Google site format. It's not like the best, but it is the easiest. So given our short time frame, we might just stick to that this time, but I'm open to other possibilities for future KubeCons and events. But that's pretty much what we're working on. And I think that's it, unless I'm forgetting anything around the community management area. Oh, I guess I can mention that after all these years, I finally submitted my PR to be officially a maintainer to the community. So thanks to everybody who helped make that happen, especially Kingdom, because it'd been a while and I was lazy, used my phone and made some errors, so it got fixed. My PR got fixed. Um, that's it
Did
for
you
me.
got Git lessons? No. Git CLI.
Oh, I mean, so before I did it from my laptop and I knew how to do the DOC stuff. And this time I was like, oh, I'm tired and I'm doing it on my phone. I can't believe it's letting me submit this. And then, of course, there's a lot of, yes, backend stuff. So thanks.
Yeah, it should work from the phone. I think you had an old fork on your account, and that's why
Uh,
it didn't. But
well,
GitHub has added sign off now from the UI, so it's just a clickable button. But the problem was with your pull request, you had made a pull request in the past, but you forgot to delete your clone from your account. So when
yeah,
you wanted to do that, you used the old fork. That was the
yes.
problem.
Because
So
also, Scott had created a little widget that just sort of like included the required text for
yeah,
DOC.
there's no longer
You
need.
don't do that
I
anymore?
mean,
Oh, there you
GitHub
go.
UI by default now supports it. We don't need
I see. Got it.
any extra stuff.
Yes. Yes.
The thing you should always do is after you open up a request and that gets merged, you go on your account and you delete the fork repository. You'll have, let's say, website or community under your personal account, and you have to delete that. So
Yeah.
you always start with a fresh clone. That's it, and then afterwards everything will work from the UI, so you don't need to
Cool.
do
Yes.
it with the Git CI.
The best
Yes.
part,
It had been a while.
once you're a maintainer, is you don't ever have to make that fork again because you have write access to the repo. So
Yeah, but you should create a branch
mhm.
because you can't just commit to main.
I think
That's
you must create a branch. We have the branch protection policies in place.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't
Yeah,
want to bore everybody else with my my rusty Git knowledge, but thanks.
okay, so Tama, what I think we should do about the KubeCon site. So instead of having that Google thing, we should create a page under website. Like for example, any other page that we have in the top level menu.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I have no issue with that. It was just for this event, we don't have a lot of time and I'm juggling a lot of different things. So I don't know if I'll have the ability to try to think of how that's going to look like and blah, blah, blah. So for the future, definitely, I think it
It
should live
can look
on the
like
website.
exactly like what's on Google. It's HTML. We just copy it in a page in the website repo.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm open. I just don't have a lot of time. And if I have to make a lot of changes, because, we make a lot of changes on the fly even when we're at the event, if something comes up. And I just don't want to create friction where stuff's outdated because I didn't have time to,
Well, yes, you
learn how
have
to
to
do stuff.
do a pull
Yeah.
request to change anything.
Yes. Yes.
I get it
So,
now. So the Google thing, you just edit something and it goes live immediately, right? That's
yeah,
why
that's
you
like,
prefer it. Okay.
well, for now, I mean, I don't necessarily prefer it, but uh, like I said, I'm juggling a lot and I don't want it to be like people are like, oh, your site's out of date. And here I am at the booth and I'm confused because we just didn't get the process down.
Okay.
But maybe we can start creating a page that's hidden for the future. And if we feel confident enough that it's ready for Paris, then we could use it. I just don't want to depend on it. So I'll write that down. I say we can create a hidden
Yeah,
page.
Kindle, let's do that like this one, like slash community. Paste it here. Right? So we have slash community, we can do slash KubeCon, so we can reuse it at all future KubeCons. and we can copy paste the markdown from community and adapt it to look like downloads. It should be really, really easy.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's a good idea. Without reinventing the wheel, I can help with that. Just
yeah,
using a regular Flux website workflow.
yeah, I can also help. It's like we need to backport it, right? That's oh no, we can. So we can initialize the page just with the title. Then all the changes we can do directly in the V2 branch. And when we are happy with that, we backport them to main. So we don't have to merge two pull requests all the time.
I like that. That sounds
Right? And it should be easier. We can iterate faster over it. Then when Tamo is happy, we can backport it to main. And from that moment on, after
yeah.
KubeCon, we go through the usual main, then V2.
Yeah. For context, Tomo and anyone else who's interested, we have this kind of ongoing discussion about how when a new Flux release is in the works and something gets merged to the main branch, it can't go out because it's not for release yet. The minor release will come out sometime in the next 3 months. So, uh, so when we actually do want to make an immediate change to the website, like something is wrong or a typo, we have this procedure for backporting it to the main branch, but we can just use a different branch. I'll get with you offline and show you. Uh, we can we can take a look at it.
Yeah. Tamao, did I added you to the community repo? Can you merge things in there?
In the community repo, but that doesn't have. We have this system for pulling from one repo to another. Maybe we could use it for the community repo so you don't have to know about any of this stuff. So when you merge a change to the community repo / KubeCon, it would just go directly to the website. That would be a cool workflow to build. I can work on that too. But what I'm not sure I'm answering what you're asking. Tomo only has write access to the community repo if you have only been made a maintainer of the community repo. So you can't merge anything in the website repo directly.
Um,
So what I'm proposing is we would have that kubecon.md file in the community repo, and changes on the main branch would get automatically promoted to the um, release branch of the website. So they go straight out when we do our KubeCon updates. Then there's no special workflow. You're just merging to community, and it's a repo that has low traffic. So there's low likelihood of rebase issues.
yeah, yeah, we can do that. It should be quite simple. We can use the bot token
Yeah.
that has access anywhere. Yeah, ping me if you get stuck with it. I can definitely help. I made a bunch of workflows like that before, so
Cool.
well,
Thank you.
Okay. Where did we leave off on the agenda? I'm not sure.
I think we covered everything I put down. I see a couple people here. Great. You are stuck with anything? Need help with Flux?
Yeah, sorry. Uh, Probably should have given a heads up that the CD events crew would be showing up to this. Yeah, just have a few thoughts on CD events and some of the replies to the RFC, um, mainly from Sunny. um, just wanted to get some input on it and maybe explain some things. Sorry, I'm trying to actually find where I put the pull request now. Yep. So Yeah. So you said in the last meeting. Sorry, I wasn't there last week. I should have shown up. I thought it was in the evening time, not the kind of afternoon time. Um, but you'd rather have the adapter kind of code external to Flux, whereas kind of the initial proposal was kind of an internal adapter. Uh, so just kind of like to elaborate on that a bit, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. So at the moment, what I have is do you mind if I share screen just a bit?
Sure.
So yeah, at the moment, this is kind of how it works in my kind of proof of concept is that the adapter is kind of in Flux, and this is kind of all that's been working on the receiver, the CD events implementation in the receiver is kind of the adapter within Flux. And then everything outside of it, the tool and the message broker and the subscription, that's not part of the RFC at all. That's like we just assume the user would have set that up on their own. Um, and all we're implementing is that the adapter would be um, within Flux. So yeah, and this that's. But you were saying you'd rather have it kind of outside Flux as its own separate thing.
No, not necessarily. This is because this detail was missing from the RFC, so it was not
Yeah.
clear which architecture we would implement.
Okay.
So we discussed and it was not clear to me how the
Yeah,
message broker communicates with the adapter.
that's fair. Yeah.
Like, is it an HTTP request or is it some other channel? If it's HTTP and it can reach the Flux receiver, I think then it's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what
But
we've
if
been planning
it's
for it to be.
so message broker communicates with the adapter through or the subscriber through HTTP
Yeah,
request, right?
so we would assume the user would kind of have a subscription that would just send a uh, request with the CD event data to the webhook for the receiver.
In that case, I think it's okay to have
Yeah.
adapter in Flux.
All right,
But
perfect. Yeah.
last week, we're not
Yeah,
sure
looks
how
great. Yeah,
they
so we don't
communicate.
need to change anything in how Flux works. We just implement the provider like any other provider, and that should
Or
be
receiver
fine, right?
even.
Receiver, yes.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Receiver. So
Yep. So at the moment, so we just use the Go SDK um, to verify it within Flux. So is that all okay as well, or
Should be okay.
yeah?
does
All
the
right.
SDK have any dependencies on Kubernetes?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Then it's all good.
No, not any
Um,
dependencies, but in turns it uses the cloud events dependencies. So I think yeah, no other dependencies as such for SDK.
No client Go, no API machinery, right?
No, no.
Great. Yeah, I'm very afraid of getting packages which depend on Kubernetes that
yeah,
makes the upgrade very hard. So
yeah, I
if
can
it's
imagine
just
that. Yeah.
cloud events and JSON, Go JSON, stuff like that, that's great. It's no issue.
And then the other thing was just this declarative versus imperative events. Um, honestly, this was I didn't know too much about the technical details of CD events, so I had a bit of a learning curve with the declarative versus imperative as well. But we think it's declarative anyway. This concept, because it'll basically just be system A is this GitHub telling the Cloud Events broker. So you push to GitHub, and merge to GitHub. Sorry, and the implementation of CD events within GitHub will tell your broker. It'll just send a change merged event, and then that subscription will then send that on to the receiver. If
Again, this was a confusion because there is no mention of message broker
Yeah.
in the RFC. So it sounds
Yeah.
like it's imperative, not declarative.
Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, I'll throw all this broker stuff, all this onto the RFC as well, just to clear things off, I think. Yep.
One more question. So when a receiver subscribes to the message broker, so message broker is essentially sending a webhook request, right? It's like a
Yeah,
webhook.
I think so, yeah.
The integration between message broker and the receiver is through webhooks. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of ideally how it would be. There'd be like a outside kind of subscription service that would get a change merged and then send that on to the CD event receiver webhook. That's kind of how I've imagined it anyway.
In the implementation you had, it's working, right? Or is it still?
Yeah, I've had it working, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then it's fine. You can just add some details about the message broker
That's
and
perfect.
the architecture.
And then, I was just a quick Tecton use case. I just drew this up. I'll throw that up on the RC as well. All right, that's pretty much it for me anyway. I just wanted to kind of pop in, have a bit of a chat on the comments on the RC.
Okay,
thank you. Thanks for the comments as well.
Okay, do we have anything else for today? Or can we call that the end of the meeting? Here. Use the Apple gestures. It's over. The meeting's over.
I don't have anything else you can add, I guess.
What is that gesture? Just put up your two fingers and you got confetti.
Yeah, there's all kinds of gestures we learned in the last bug scrub. You can all right. See you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.